If you could go back in time 10,000 years ago and make a cave painting to confuse everyone in the future, what would you draw? Avalach did this in Tower of the Swallows of the Witcher saga. Geralt gave some advice. What else can you think to paint here? Draw a picture of prehistoric hunters with enormous erected penises. That's a good idea. The elf dipped the brush into the paint. Phallic worship was typical of early civilizations. It can also be used to forge the theory that the human race suffers from physical degeneration. The ancestors had phalluses the size of buttons, and the descendants had no more than ridiculous twigs. Thank you, Witcher. You're welcome. A quarter code that, when used, links you to Rick Astley is never gonna give you up. Alternatively, a counting system that's clearly binary and a rough blueprint of an arithmetic logic unit, which is in every computer. Edit. Never mind. I'd going to write a prophecy about myself that helps me launch a new world religion based on maximizing birth rates and instilling a deep affection for liberty. A super detailed mural of space travelers landing and having sex with all the native animals, then leaving and broadcasting the result on intergalactic TV. An accurate depiction of the solar system and our position in the Milky Way. Then a symbol somewhere on the other side of the galaxy. Then some binary code, Latin, and the local runic script or equivalent spelling. If you read this, I have been able to return home. Thanks for the hospitality. We'll be back for you when you unite as a species and conquered your system. The Eternal Alliance awaits. Not paint, says, I will literally write random names of very known people and specify how they died, like a couple of celebrities or historical people, something like this. King Louis XVI of France, guillotined on January 21, 1793 in Paris. Adolf Hitler killed himself at the age of 56, the 30th of April 1945 in Berlin, Germany. Jeffrey Epstein definitely didn't kill himself. The list would go on and on like this for dozens of names from various people. Just imagine how much everyone would freak out. Tentacle hentai intricately painted. Imagine scientists and archaeologists studying the paintings. Edit. Below the tentacle painting, a drawing depicting the North Atlantic Ocean showing the Bermuda Triangle will really spice things up. I'd draw people fighting wars over toilet paper. People would laugh. Then this year the prophecy would come true. I'd write the date the cave would be found as Op said, it's found when you desire. It will be the 5th of May 1995, and would have drawings and warnings of 9/11, 2020 etc. Modern technology like smartphones and other events to mess people up, and even some non-truth drawings like aliens or some probe judging that you can pick where it is. I would pick a deep location which is also isolated, meaning noon cold vented as the years pass by and they notice the correlations between these and real life events, and then would freak out about the unexplained drawings aka the aliens, and it warn them about Cardi B. It'd have to be a pictures. It scrawled prophetic messages all over the wall that cryptically warn of events in the future, then come back and watch the conspiracies that pop up over it. It'd be more than theories. If you describe things that actually happened like the Holocaust or nuclear energy or hentai, by the time you come back an entire religion will have popped up and you can start adding some stupid shit knowing that we'll all believe it. My full name, address, phone number, picture of my house and a meetup date. That would be my birthday. So many people would come to my birthday party. 10,000 years of preparations and still nobody coming to the party because of coronavirus. But have parts missing and have it be kinda sloppy and a few switched around so that it seems a caveman was actually figuring out all the element instead of some all-knowing being just writing them there. Yeah, it'd be sloppy, but still arranged according to atomic numbers. Would totally mess with them if cavemen knew about subatomic particles. A perfect stone tablet with these words inscribed in it in 2 languages, one which we don't know, and one which is early Latin, saying how the weapons that rain lead down on the sky and the great metal flying machines, as well as the ancient ones, those are the moving images and the long-ranged voice machines. One day these ancient ones drop down the perfect weapon upon these lands, causing it to become unlivable for decades and killing everything within its range, the Great Nuke. This would be 100,000 years old and would be discovered around now. A dinosaur. You know those cave paintings of stick figures hunting mammoths and stuff? A painting in that style, but instead of some animal alive at that point, it would show people hunting some dinosaur. I would draw a fuzzy T-Rex showing that it had feathers hunting and being hunted by people. Maybe a herd of some giant sauropod with a long neck and tail being hunted by tiny spear-wielding cavepeople. Mix it up with actual animals that were around in that time and place, so scientists would not be able to discard it as just being fantasy stuff. It should give everyone some food for thought. The schematics of the time machine I used. People debating about how it may or may not be real, yet buried in the earth is how you go about building that thing. I would write Danny DeVito on a wall somewhere and convince people he is a metaphysical being that has existed since the beginning of time. Please come back in time and save me. Cain and Abel don't live that far away from me, please. Oh god, a saber-toothed tiger also sad, please bring home grape Fanta, cheddar Chex Mix, etc on your home, thanks. Oh god, please help, it's eating me. Message in plain English. I'm a fairly good artist, so I'd make a series of portraits depicting Alexander the Great, Caesar, Cleopatra, the Buddha, Genghis Khan, Washington, and myself. Then label them to Zeus, Venus, Amaterasu, the Christ, Mars/Ares, Ra, and the King in Yellow, respectively, all in English using one of Tolkien's alphabets. Digging it up sometime this century, I think that'd really fuck with them. So many questions. Like, how does the Buddha fit with the rest of them? Why are the names from different pantheons? Who's this nobody at the end? Is he claiming to be the King in Yellow? Is he dangerous? Why is the Buddha labeled Christ? Why does Genghis get 2 names, where everyone else only gets 1? Why/how TF this in Elvish, but also still English? Were these created as predictions of the likeness of important historical figures? That'd be impossible, so these 7 people must have been around 10,000 years ago, also impossible. A huge orange demon holding a black obelisk from which hundreds of evil bluebirds flock from. Underneath it will be a single word, Kavif. I'd make a normal cave painting of that era, crudely depicting some kind of animal surrounded by 117 trees. Along with the natural pigments I would source locally, I would mix in a huge amount of tennessine, the second heaviest known element, that was only just discovered in 2010, with an atomic number 117. The solar system and glyphs that are unreadable, pointing to the Alpha Centauri system showing the binary stars, and with Proxima thrown in for the yucks. Various accurate dated world maps portraying how different countries, kingdoms, and empires with their borders changed over time. Of course, by doing this, I would be changing history. People would use the knowledge to their advantage, and the more they used it, the more variables they would create, and it would become more and more obsolete. Like what would happen if France in 1925 saw the map and discovered that in the 1940s Germany would invade their country? How much would that change history? Typically Stone Age anime, but instead of me being there, I will write specific and basic instructions to achieve radio communications. By the end of the instructions it will confuse the future and evolve humanity faster than ever. And I will write all the wrongs humanity did and how to avoid it, including that you. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you would like to see more, feel free to subscribe.